Yay. And if you're like me, Saturday mornings are a chance to sort of unwind a little bit. And if you're watching me wipe my eye here, my allergies have decided to kick in strong this weekend. So I've already taken my trusted friend Claritin, and hopefully that'll help in a few minutes. So if you see me wiping my eye, I'm not shedding a tear, I promise. Or maybe I am, but mostly it's allergies. And fall season, when the temperatures change, I always have some kind of allergy issue, right? So, good morning. How are you doing? I hope you pull up a chair, get comfy, and settle in. We're going to chat a little bit, have some coffee together. Tell me what's been going on in your week so far. I mean, here we are. We're almost to the middle of September, guys. How did that even happen? Whoosh, and September went by. We're going to be moving into the last 3 months of 2020. I don't know about you. This has been quite the year, has it not? Quite the year. Good morning, Miss Sylvia. So I'm coming to you live, and I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram simultaneously. Pretty cool triple threat, right? But I love finding out all about social media platforms, how they work, how they operate, and how I can do my part and participate and say hi to my friends and chat and be with everyone today. So, as I do every morning, I feature a mug from my extensive mug collection, and today's mug was one of my favorite shows that was on Saturday morning television. Oh, look, and there's my kitty Milo. That's not my tail, it's his, I promise. Say hi to everybody, Milo. Say hi, Milo. So, yes, this mug. So, some of you, if you're old enough, you may remember the TV show Gumby. And this is my classic little mug from the Gumby show, Gumby and Pokey. They were a fun little show. In fact, I believe my daughter has the Pokey because I have Gumby. Yep, I have my little friend Gumby. And he's here, and he will be sure to stay. Gumby, let's all see the magical things we can play. He can change into anything. Remember, Gumby would be a cowboy, or he would be a sheriff, or he would be a fireman, and he always came up with different little characters that he would become. He can change into anything. With his pals, Pokey, and he had two other friends called Prickle and Goo. They would do anything, and they would come up with all these little character stories that they would be in. It was wonderful claymation animation that was fabulous. And so I have my little Gumby character on my desk to help me remember to smile and be happy, and that I can do anything, whatever the day hands me, right? So, fun show. Saying hello to my friends on Facebook. Good morning, good morning. Love the mug. It's a classic. Yes, good morning, Savannah. There's my girl. Good morning, Miss Sherry. How are you? Gavin, good to see you. How are you doing, Gavin? Always a pleasure to see you here, buddy. You're having your morning coffee with me. Yes, Miss Sylvia, that is great to see you. Yes, Gumby, Sherry. Do you remember Gumby? Well, I remember the cool Saturday morning cartoons. Does anybody remember that? Do you guys remember getting up early in the morning, grabbing a bowl of cereal, going downstairs or going into your den or going into your family room and turning on cartoons early and just sitting in your pajamas all Saturday morning watching the Saturday morning lineup? Well, here's some fun trivia. So I did some research and I was looking up Saturday morning Funhouse. It was called Saturday Morning Funhouse, TV Funhouse. And that was the fun thing. So the Saturday morning TV lineup in 1975. Okay. So it was really so first it would come on Yogi's Gang, right? Yogi Bear and his gang. Then the Bugs Bunny show, which was my ultimate favorite. I love Bugs Bunny cartoons. Hong Kong Phooey. How many of you remember that show? The New Adventures of Gilligan. Devlin, which was a guy who was it was a family of motorcycle riders. Lassie's Rescue Rangers. The Super Friends. Then you had My Favorite Martians, Speed Buggy, Jeannie. Jeannie had her own cartoon. The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show, Scooby-Doo, Shazam, Valley of the Dinosaurs. The Addams Family cartoons, Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. And then they had Land of the Lost, Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. I used to love those shows. The Pink Panther Show, another fun one. Star Trek, the animated series. The Jetsons. Isn't it funny how so much of the Jetsons is almost like modern day now, right? So that was the morning lineup. And now there's not so much. So in the UK, you had Milkshake on a Saturday morning. Wow. And it had great shows. Right. So those Saturday morning lineups with great cartoons that we would all sit and watch and hang out. And sometimes the parents would watch with us, right? I know my grandmother would come in and she would watch cartoons with me. Sometimes we'd have cereal together. Sometimes my allergies would bother me like they are today. It's just, right? So many fun Saturday morning shows. Well, now things are a little different. Kids don't sit and watch cartoons in the morning on television. Everything is streamed from a platform, and who knows? I don't even know what the relevant Saturday morning shows are anymore. I don't even know if they have Saturday morning programming because now everything is on demand and streamed. But I know a lot of kids who love to watch the classic cartoons, right? And a lot of times those shows were about friends that were working together to help each other through a problem, right? And that's so important. You need friends in life that are going to walk with you through difficult times. Speaking of difficult times, 2020 continues to be a year that gives us like, what? Are you guys surprised anymore at what happens on when everything comes to the news for 2020, right? So many weird things. We've got fires going on the West Coast, and I am just praying so heavily for my friends. I have some very dear, close friends. I also have some family out on the West Coast. This has been a rough year. This has been a rough year. The temperatures are getting hotter. The snows are melting. The droughts, even the droughts on the island of Hawaii, they are having warnings of the smoke coming, and they've also had unusual dryness on the island of Hawaii. Can you imagine? So, these things are real. These things that are happening are real. And unfortunately, it's causing a problem. So many of my friends have had to evacuate. The state of Oregon and Washington State, rarely has it gone all the way up, but it's really happening now on the West Coast. So be thinking of and praying for our friends on the West Coast. If you know of friends or family members who are struggling and need a hand, do what you can to get the word out to help them. They need our help more than anything this year. A lot of good people, a lot of great wine country out there, a lot of great farmers who grow a lot of our food on the West Coast. So we need to be thinking of and praying for them. Good morning, Carol. How are you doing? Good to see you. So some of the stories that I wanted to talk about today that I found pretty interesting. Did you all see the news story about the guy named Djokovic who was at the US Open? Now, I found this story interesting for a couple of reasons. One, have you ever been in a situation where you might call it competition. Say you're trying to work with someone or you're on a deadline or something's going on and somebody does something and it just really irks you, right? You really get upset. Well, evidently this is what happened to Djokovic. And the way he responded was to get mad and just hit a tennis ball real hard, right? Well, when he did that, he hit someone with it. And you know, these professional players, they can hit those balls at a powerful speed. I mean, I don't know if you've watched before, but if you watch the US Open or you're watching sports and you see these athletes and the balls are just flying and they record the speed at how high these things, a high speed that these things can travel. Well, he hit one and it hit one of the line judges right here. Now, let me tell you, if you have an object flying at you at 90 miles an hour or more and it hits you right here in the throat, chances are that could rupture your vocal cords. That could cause some serious physical damage. Now, he admitted up front he did not mean to. He didn't mean for that to happen. He lost his temper. However, that hit a line judge could have injured, who knows if she's even, he or she, if they're even struggling with any kind of medical problem because of this now. The US Open, he was disqualified from the tournament. Disqualified for throwing a tantrum. I know when my kids threw a tantrum, there were consequences. If my daughter's still on the broadcast, she could tell you. Right, Dan? We didn't have throwing tantrums. Isn't it too bad that others in our world right now who throw tantrums and tweet rage, there's nothing done about that. And yet, this young man, because of the high standards of excellence to which the US Open holds itself and its athletes, they weren't about to have that. I'm sorry, first of all, you're throwing a fit, which professionals don't throw fits. They don't throw tantrums. They deal professionally with things. They handle things appropriately. He didn't handle himself appropriately, and the top seeded player in the world of tennis. Boop. Because he couldn't control himself. He couldn't handle himself appropriately. Oh, if that would work in other areas of our life, in other fields of life, other people who can't seem to control their actions against others, right? Imagine if people were allowed to just run roughshod and do whatever they wanted and treat people like crap with absolutely no consequences. Imagine what that would do to people. And so unfortunately, this young man has learned a very valuable lesson. He admitted, see, that was the thing. He admitted, yes, I lost my temper. Yes, I'm sorry. And he repeatedly said, I did not mean for that to happen. And he didn't. We've all done it, guys. We've all done it. How many of us have had the grace of God somehow intervene and save us from something really bad that could have happened because we lost our temper, right? And that this young man did what any professional would do. He apologized. He admitted that he made a mistake. He realized that the professional decision by the tournament and the judges, he understood why. If they let that one slide, then any player would have the ability to go on the court and throw a fit and shoot line drives at people across the field when they didn't get their way. And so the tournament disqualified him, and he's no longer playing. Losing his temper, what that cost him, and how that's going to play out for him, because it went all over the news, right? It went all over the news. Good morning, Penny. How are you doing? Good morning, Miss Mary. How are you? Good to see you. Instagram folks, I'm replying to some people on the Facebook Live feed, consequences, right? Right. And what happens when there's no consequences? People can run roughshod. People can do things that they normally wouldn't do, right? So that was one interesting story that I found. Another interesting story, and I'm sure you guys have heard all about it, of course, because it made the news, because why this has to make the news. There was a couple of good ones. So this one I'm not surprised, okay? How many of you saw that the Kardashians, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is ending? Anybody upset about that? Let's take a moment to pray, shall we? Okay, that's all. Listen, the show's been on for 14 seasons. Is that it? How many years? I mean, that's been going on for years. I will say that I do admire the girls for creating fashion brands and being able, from a business perspective, to run a business and do what they've been able to do. I think that living with a camera in your face 24/7 is difficult for anyone. I know I wouldn't want it. I appreciate spending time with you all here in the mornings, having coffee together. However, I don't want to give you a camera look into my life all the time, because you'd see me blowing my nose and dealing with my allergies way more than you are this morning. You'd have to see my messy closet. You'd have to see Michael and I still working on trying to move into our house and our vastly empty rooms that still exist, because we're still moving during COVID and we're still trying to get furniture and things, right? So that's really interesting. But I don't need to show that to the world. And I'm not that interesting. They're interesting because they have so much money. But I thought it was interesting in one article that I read that, that Chloe lost a $75,000 earring off a boat, and she was, upset. I did a Google search, and guys, if you just put Kardashian show ending, and you see the articles of just things that people are saying and how they're responding, maybe they just want some peace. Maybe they want cameras out of their face. They don't want to deal with that kind of intrusion anymore. Maybe that's what's going on. So we need to cut them some slack, give them credit for what they've been able to accomplish. But there's no love lost for me on the fact the Kardashians are ending. Oh, I crack you up. Well, thank you, Rosie. I love you, my sweet cousin. And I miss you so. You've never seen the show, Sherry, so you have no desire to watch it. I was interested in it for this much, maybe. But I think it's tough when you see things that the family is going through that have to be made public, that with their family problems are made public. That's tough. There's children involved that are always going to be dealing with this kind of stuff. And so I think it's a good thing for them that it's ending. I think they probably need some peace in their life and some privacy to deal with some things that they're dealing with. I think everybody deserves that. So, kudos. Sip. So we're going to sip and salute. We're going to sip and salute the Kardashian family, all the production team people who have jobs because of the show. That's going to end. So I'm just going to hope that this all ends peacefully for them, and that the press will cut them some slack. And I'm also going to sip and salute the officials at the US Open for taking a stand and dealing with someone who needed to be dealt with and have consequences for their actions, and showing the world that we still do that, because in this world right now, there seems to be no consequences for any kind of action taken by certain people in high positions. And it's wreaking havoc on our country, right? So enough of all of that. Let's get into some good news. And then I have a funny story for you about a guy who peed next to my car. So we'll hold that for the end of the broadcast, because that's truly a funny story. But there are stories going around all around us, guys. We have inspiration for songs. My cousin Rosie is a musician. She writes beautiful music. She sings songs. And I'm telling you, Rosie, I hope you're writing some songs about the pandemic year because you will sip to that You will sip to that. Yes, let's sip and salute them, shall we? Let's sip and salute. Um, let them go and live their life off screen. Yes, we live our lives off screen. Only time we get together, or when we get together in broadcasts like this, or people share broadcasts, or you participate in broadcasts, right? So I'm going to sip and salute the US Open officials for taking their stand. And I'm going to sip and salute the Kardashians for being able to create something that lasted for 14 years and create a business and create an empire. And I'm really going to pray that they have some peace in their life, that they have some peace to handle the situations and things going on in their families and dealing with this pandemic, because they're dealing with it too. I don't care how much money these people have. Everyone is dealing with the effects of this pandemic. Okay. Now, here's a fun story that popped up that I was super excited about. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but if you didn't, then let me be the first to tell you about it. But first, let me deal with my allergy situation here. Oh, so sorry, guys. It's an extraordinary morning here in Texas, and temperatures are changing. And subsequently, my nose and my eyes are responding. But here's something fun. Did you guys hear about or read about the golden ticket? I've got a golden ticket. I've got a golden ticket. The Jelly Belly Candy Factory giveaway. And yes, there is an actual golden ticket. In fact, there's golden tickets. Okay. So they've had to, so I looked for their actual website. And so it says, due to confusion in the marketplace, Jelly Belly Candy Company would like to take this opportunity to clear up the misconception that it is involved with a contest that purportedly offers a candy factory as its grand prize. Jelly Belly Candy Company, formerly known as Herman Golitz Candy Company, has candy making roots back to 1869. It was founded by Gustav Golitz and remains family-owned and operated today. David Klein, the sponsor of the treasure hunt contest, gaining attention within the media this weekend, is not associated with Jelly Belly Candy Company, its brands, or its products. In 1976, Mr. Klein, an independent third party, came up with the name Jelly Belly and other novel marketing ideas. Jelly Belly Candy Company has not had a relationship with Mr. Klein since 1980, when it acquired the trademark. So evidently, this one gentleman who owns a candy factory is trying to, I think, give away something. Yeah. So he says Jelly Belly Candy Company was founded in 1898 and began making Jelly Belly jelly beans in 1976. Today, Jelly Belly products are sold all over the world, and the company remains family-owned and operated by the fourth, fifth, and sixth generations of the candy-making family. So, oops, that's an official blast off of their website, letting people know, oops, what happened there? What happened with the golden ticket situation? So Jelly Belly has distanced itself. So what really happened? What really happened, right? And why was this all the rage and in the news? See, guys, this is why you have to research what comes out, because this is how people are easily tricked into doing things or participating in things that truly were not a part of really what's going on. So here's an article I did some research on. So it says, like a page out of a Roald Dahl storybook, one of the originators of the Jelly Belly brand is launching a nationwide treasure hunt with the help of some golden ticket style necklaces, but you might want to read the fine print before you enter. See? Ooh, that fine print will get you every time. So it says, David Klein, who sold his stake in Jelly Belly in 1980 and now runs a company called Spectrum Confections, announced last week that he will give away a candy factory to one lucky winner who is able to locate the ultimate treasure. Additionally, one treasure hunter in all 50 states will win $5,000. The contest sparked enormous interest, with the Golden Ticket Facebook group gaining tens of thousands of members in just a few days, and the website, thegoldenticket.com, crashing from an apparent influx of visitors. When reached by phone, Klein told Fast Company he was caught off guard by the surge. This is the biggest response to anything we've ever done. Dude, you got online and said you were giving away a candy factory. You put the name Jelly Belly attached to it. Of course, you're going to be surprised at the influx of people. You know, that's why we have to be careful, guys. And there could be some legal ramifications. So here's some things to know about the contest. It's not free. Guys, in the days of online signups of things, it's never completely free. What's free is the bait, the thing to get you to sign up. That's free. That's why they call it a freebie. It's a freebie. Everything else costs. So it's not free. You have to pay $49.99, which is basically $50 and some change, to enter the statewide treasure hunts. And each one is limited to 1,000 participants. David and his partner have started going across the USA hiding golden-style tickets in the form of necklaces in places they come across with an interesting story. Plans are to have multiple treasure hunts for these golden tickets in every state. Cost of the contest appears to have divided people on social media, with some paying the price, saying the price tag is too high, others saying they're fine with paying $50. Okay. And you don't really know what you're getting. Klein declined to comment on the actual value of the factory he's giving away, citing fluctuations in the real estate market. He says the property is 4,000 square feet and located in Florida, where he lives, and the winner of the contest will become the new owner. Well, what if you inherit this place and it's fallen apart and going through bankruptcy? Is that how he's offloading it? You don't know what you're getting, right? The winner will also receive an all-expenses-paid trip and education to a candy-making university, which Klein said was located at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. You need a Facebook account. So now you need to pay $50. You have to have a Facebook account, because the contest is taking place in Facebook groups where participants will receive riddles on a predetermined date. According to the contest rules, you have to be on Facebook to play. What about the Instagram folks? What about the YouTube folks? What about Twitter? What about Twitch? What about all these other people? You have to be on Facebook to play. And that means any contest-related interaction you may have may not be private. As of Tuesday morning, the website to enter the contest was inaccessible to many visitors. Moreover, some users on Facebook reported that they did not receive a confirmation after paying the money to sign up. When asked about the glitches, Klein said the website has been crashing due to the influx of visitors. Duh. And his team was working to fix the issues. And as we just found out, it is not in any way affiliated with the Jelly Belly Candy Company. So they had to come out and give an actual press release to say, we don't know anything about this, and we don't know why this guy is doing this, and yeah, but not Jelly Belly doing the contest. Right. Guys, got to read the fine print. We never know what's going on. We never know what's going on. There's too many weird things going on. Speaking of weird things that went on, here's a fun story that I will leave you with in my broadcast this morning, because I can't make this stuff up, guys. And I remember texting my daughter Savannah and telling her, oh my God, I cannot believe what just happened to me. And I was going to do a story about it when it happened, but then I thought, no, I'm going to save it for my broadcast. So here it is, guys. My weird story. I did not have this on my bingo card. We had rain move through here this past week, and I was out running some errands, and I had to go to the grocery store. Made a stop at a Kroger, because Kroger is the only one that will take the plastic grocery bags. Because I don't know about you guys, but I can't even use my recyclable shopping bags anymore. So do you have a buildup of grocery bags at your house? Oh my God. Yeah, we had that too. And so Michael and I would Michael and I would say, are you going to take the bags? I'll take the bags. Do you want to take the bags? No, I'll take the bags. So Kroger is the only one taking the bags. So here's what happened. I go to Kroger. I pull in the parking lot. But a friend of mine named Mita Pogue, some of you may know her, but Mita, it was Mita's birthday. And I wanted to call her and say, happy birthday. So I pulled in this parking spot. I was on my phone. I was singing her happy birthday. We were having a chat. We were talking, and all of a sudden this car kind of very erratically pulled in next to me, but kind of pulled in at an angle because I thought they were going to hit my car. And I was talking to Mita and I said, oh my gosh, this guy just pulled in like sort of half-assed in the space and almost hit the car. Like, ugh. And I didn't know if he was gonna park, like pull out and then straighten up because he was like his front end, he came in kind of at an angle, right? So I'm still talking to her, everything. And as we're talking, all of a sudden, I see this guy over here in my blind spot area. So basically he was standing at the window of the back seat, right? So my back seat on the right side window, standing there really close to the glass. And I was like, is he looking in my car? What is he doing? Are you kidding me? Guys, at first I thought he was doing something inappropriate up next to my car. And then I realized, yeah, he actually was doing something inappropriate. And he was peeing, guys. He got out of his car in the rain and stood right up next to my car. You know, he couldn't go because where we parked was like up at the edge of like the street. So there's all these trees and bushes. Like he couldn't go there. Of course, I guess he didn't want to face the street. But he was an older guy. So I thought, is he disabled? Like I thought, is he just taking his time because he's older? No, he's peeing. He's peeing next to my car. Now, part of me wanted to lay on my horn so badly and scare the crap out of him. But then, you know, you never know with people. You don't want to do that and have a confrontation, right? Guys, anyone have pee on my car in a grocery store parking lot by a stranger on your bingo card? Yeah. That was my fun thing for this week. Stories of weird stuff, guys, that will happen all around you, right? Weekend. I swear to God. And I was on the phone with Mita. She can attest to this. I was like, Mita, a guy, he's peeing. And then, and stepped back, zipped his pants up, and wobbled into the Kroger. Now, the guy could have been drunk. Nope, you did not have that on your card. Sarah, right? Nope, did not have that on the card, right? People are crazy. And they come out of the woodwork. And yeah, Carol, I'm telling you, shake your head. And then, yeah, Sherry, yuck is right. And then the thing is, guys, I had to go into the store. So I got out of my car. I looked, I was like, he peed. So I pulled out, and because, and Mita said, he could be drunk. That's probably why he did that. I said, well, I don't want to know, and I don't want to find out. So I backed my car out, and I went all the way around to the other side of the parking lot, and I parked somewhere else. Because if he was drunk and he got back in his car, I didn't want him to back out of his space and hit my car. Oh, you guys. Just can't make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. And it's happening all around us, right? Whew. I don't know about you, but my week has been fun. So I'm going to sip and salute to all the folks out there who are trying to make it through life and get through without having weird stuff show up on their bingo card. Shall we? Let's sip. I could write a book, The Life and Times of Miss Ronnie. Yep. You would have moved too, Sarah. I did. And here's the thing, guys. I really did not want to run into him in the grocery store. I should have said, you peed on my car. But I didn't want to. Yeah. So that was my week. And then, of course, guys, as always, yesterday we sip and salute all of those who were involved in the 9/11 attacks, who lost their lives in all the places where the plane hit. I saw yesterday people just chiming in about where they were, what they were doing. I remember vividly what happened that morning. I was up getting ready for school with my kids. My kids knew that we watched Good Morning America until it ended. And then once it ended, my kids knew that that meant school was to start. So we would get up early, we'd have breakfast, mom would have Good Morning America on, and my kids would watch the news. They would watch the news, they would watch coverage of different events, whether it was lifestyle things or actual news events, and then we would talk about them. Once 9 o'clock happened and school started, we would talk about them. And so I was on the phone with, again, my friend Mita, because we would call up each other and we would have morning coffee as we were getting ready with our mornings and teaching our kids. And my kids were at the table having breakfast and getting things done, and we were watching Good Morning America. And I remember watching the coverage live. My late husband at the time was on tour with Lord of the Dance, and he was down in Biloxi, Mississippi. So I had to call him frantically and wake him up. My brother-in-law was on a flight coming back overseas. He was supposed to land in New York. He was in one of the planes that was circling for hours as they were trying to figure out where they could land. I have another friend who was actually on one of the planes that ended up in Gander, Newfoundland. And she has shared her story of what happened there, the people there, how wonderful that was. And to think that that was 19 years ago, that an attack like that happened. And I remember saying, Dad, I can't believe something like that would happen in our country. And yet today, I'm saying a lot of the same things. I'm saying things like, I can't believe what's going on right now in our country. I can't believe some of the things that are happening. Yesterday, the Wisconsin Supreme Court has stopped the mailing of absentee ballots for voters. So for people who are sick, who are in the hospital, who are unable to vote in person, now do not have an opportunity to vote because the Supreme Court has ruled that absentee ballots are not going to be mailed. How does that happen in our country? How is our election being compromised in our own country? Yeah. Tough things going on in our world. But you know what? I had a guy pee on my car. That was about as tough as things got this week. That and my allergies bothering me. But I hope wherever you are, we are here together, guys. And we know the plans he has for us, plans to prosper us, not to harm us, plans to give us a hope and a future. And that's what I hold to every day, because we never know what's going to come up on our bingo card, right? And let's see, Penny, you were standing in a patient's room and it was breaking on the TV. Your hospital went into lockdown emergency preparedness mode. Yeah, we all remember vividly the day that happened. We all remember the lives that were lost. We also remember how our nation came together in a moment. It didn't matter what color we were. It didn't matter what was on our voter registration card. It didn't matter our political leaning. It didn't matter our religion. We had been attacked, and we were going to stand together as a united nation. That's what I'm praying and believing for every day. I know it can still happen. We still have it in us. We still have the Gumby and Pokey spirit in us to care about each other, to love each other, to support each other. That is what our nation was founded on. A hope and a future. That's right, Sarah, a hope and a future. And regardless of what man does, I'm standing on that. So guys, As I wipe my eye again as it's draining. I hope you all have a wonderful start to your weekend. Thank you for taking the time to sit and have some coffee with me and listen to stories and talk about great stories. And if you have a story that you want to write, as Miss Mary said, I should get started writing a book because I could tell you some great stories. Whew. Places I've been, things I've done, people I've met, and the amazing things that happen to us every day. So I hope you're recording some stories. If you need help writing your stories, let me know, because that's something I love to do, is help writers get stronger, write some awesome stories, get their stories out there and share them with the world, because the world needs our stories. It's what makes this place a fun place to be, right? All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks for sipping and saluting with me. I'll see you back here next weekend. We're going to have more of this. So store up your stories and share them with me and let me know if you need help telling yours. I love telling mine, and we'll be back here together next Saturday for another Saturday Sip and Salute. Love you guys. As always, thank you for being here. Appreciate you giving me some time, and we'll talk next